How about our men's basketball team? Sweet 16, going out west. The West Side knows, baby. Go out there, take care of business. Congratulations to those guys. Congratulate to our women. I know it didn't go the way we wanted to, but had a good season, and I know for me personally, it's good to be around winners. So wish our men a safe trip out west and all the luck, and I know they'll represent us well. Now, spring ball. Very, very excited. I'm very excited about spring ball. The guys have been working really hard this offseason, our winter conditioning, doing a great job at competing. I think our guys have gotten stronger, bigger, and now I'm ready to see them go through the next process of now the spring ball. We've been in the weight room, and now it's time to go out and execute on the football field. It'd be fun to see our guys take from what they know in the meeting rooms and take it out on the football field and see how they execute, and see our guys compete, and who want jobs and who's okay with someone else taking their job. So it's going to be pretty cool. Questions?
Willie, as far as your system, offensively and defensively, how much can you install in these 3 to 4 weeks to get a feel of what you exactly have?
You can install it all. I don't think you get out of there necessarily knowing what you're really good at or not. And for us, we want to teach our guys our schemes and why we do things, what's the foundation to it, and how we can get to other things from there. And that's our focus on the spring. When spring ball is over with, whether it's offense, defense, or special team, we want to be able to say we're good at something, and then we can build off of that. And there's certain things that we're going to concentrate on and to make sure that our guys are pretty good at it, and then we can continue to get better throughout the summer.
Coach, what's the dynamic that you try to create between you and your players, and how's that going to change as we enter spring?
When you say dynamic, like
relationship between you and your players.
I want to be like father-son. We go in and recruit these guys and take them away from their parents, their families, and say we're going to take care of them, and that's what we want to be able to do, And then I also want to be their coach, be a mentor, and help those guys reach their great dreams, goals, and aspirations. And you do that by holding them accountable and making sure that they're doing the things that they say they want to do when they decide to come here. And I know every last one of them wanted to come to Florida State to graduate and win championships. And they got to have that mindset every single day at everything that we do and compete that way at every drill, every meeting, every class, but trying to get our entire football team to feel that way.
Coach, how did you first hear of Coach Bell? And what's your relationship with him like? And I guess people are wondering how involved he is going to be in the installation of the offense and the play calling.
I first heard Coach Bell's name when he got hired by Maryland by Coach Durkin. DJ and I worked out at Stanford, had a good relationship, and when DJ hired him out there, that's when I first heard Walt's name, and then I started to hear more about what he did at Arkansas State, and I remember watching those guys play against Texas this year when he had some healthy quarterbacks, and they did a good job against Texas, probably one of the few teams that really did that well against Texas defense. And so study him a little bit, do a lot of similarities we do in the offensive schemes. So thought he would be a good fit for our football program, and he'll be good for our quarterbacks and helping them grow and being what we need them to be as a quarterback position. And Coach Bell is him along with the rest of our offensive staff. They'll put the game plan together. We all watch practice film together, and he's going to coordinate that meeting rooms, the players meeting and coaches meeting, and yeah, that's what he do. He'll shoot me some advice on game days. I'm gonna call the plays, and if I get stuck and need a play, hey, Walt, have your finger on the play, ready to roll. Give me a play. Hey, Greg, I need a run play. Give me a run play. But it's pretty much how it goes. I'm gonna call the plays. I'm gonna be in the meetings with the guys. I'm gonna know everything that's going on within the offense. At least I better know what's going on. But we're gonna work together, and day to day and installing and those things. Walt and the rest of the staff will be putting that in.
Well, yeah, last we talked to you, you mentioned the idea of...
That was a wow.
mentioned the idea of going and now recruiting the guys that were already here. I was wondering, how that process went. You feel like you've gotten a good start with some of the veterans on the team? I
do. It's been fun. Our guys are, like I said earlier, man, our guys are buying into everything that we're asking them to do, and they're having fun. We're seeing them around the office a lot more, and just coming in just to talk, not just football or when they do something wrong, but just come around and spending time with us, and that says a lot. But it's been going really well. I think us being out there with the guys for winter condition has been great, for us and for them, to see how we are as coaches and how they're going to be coached, So that part been really good. Like I say, the buy-in is there, and now is that next process of taking it all to the football field, keeping that same buy-in, and then now going out and compete, and competing for jobs. This is where it gets interesting, and how they respond when things don't go their way, and how they going to respond when the competition is close. We want those guys that's going to find a way to win.
Coach, the first couple days of practice, you're not allowed to go in pads because of the NCAA rules.
Mm-hmm.
Just what are you looking for from your team during those first few practices?
Well, just like any other practice, first understanding the kind of practice that we have. We're going to be in helmets, so we want to make sure that we're taking care of each other, while we're out there. And, we don't need any unnecessary contact while we're out there. We got to learn to practice like pros. This is the first time a lot of guys are going to be going through the type of practice that we have, so I'm sure there'll be some mistakes, but we want to limit those as much as we can. And but it's just going back to just getting better every single day. And you say, however the first day is, the second day we want to be a lot better than that. But we want to be smart. We want to fly around. Don't like a lot of standing around. So we want to be a fast practice. We get in and get our work done and get out. I don't think you'll see a lot of. We'll do a lot of coaching in the film room, but not stopping practice to necessarily slow down or just teach one or two things that you can get done on film. We're gonna let our guys go play. They're gonna make mistakes, and it's our job to correct them when we see them, and then in the meeting room. But we want them to play fast and not worry about making mistakes.
Coach, the other programs that you took over were going through rebuilding phases. Here you come with the expectations that are in place at Florida State. How is it different going into a spring, going into coaching a group with those kind of expectations?
I don't necessarily see it as being different, because it's more similarities than it is being different, other than the expectation. And Florida State has won national championships, and the other program I've taken over hadn't, so that's probably the biggest difference. But I think each one of those programs that I've taken over had been going this way, so a lot of those things that make it go that way are all similar in every aspect. So expectations are what they are, and that's why I think we all are here, me, coaches, players, and all. That's why you come to Florida State, is for those expectations, those challenges, and you look forward to, I know me personally, just look forward to going through the processes to get through those challenges, and to accomplish those things that you want to accomplish and live up to those expectations. So I look forward to going through that process with our players, as we're doing now, and building it to how you think it should be in order to, like you say, fulfill those expectations.
Coach, DeAndre Francois, what will he be able to do in practice?
Right now, he's going to be able to encourage his teammates, be a great leader, and keep rehabbing to get himself better so he can get out there and compete. You know, I don't see him doing a lot this spring, you know, but one thing he can do is continue to work on being a great leader and winning his teammates over and rehabbing to make sure that he's in the best physical shape so that he can compete when he come back out there, you know, and get a lot of mental reps while he's out there, you know. So he's got a lot of work to do, even though he's not out there on the football field. And we look forward to him working on those things that he needs to better himself and put himself in a position to where he can compete just like the rest of them.
Coach, we see some banners on the practice field, blame no one, and there's another one, make no excuses.
What's the other one?
What's the other one?
You don't see the other one?
I didn't see the other one yet.
There's not. Did you
It's
see
on the
it?
opposite side.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll see it in a little bit.
Yeah, you'll see it.
What is the importance
Do
of...
something.
Do something? I apologize for not seeing it. The importance of instilling accountability with your players. Why did you feel like it was so important after the way last season ended and where you saw the players when you got the job and now after the chase? Why do you think that's so important to kind of instill there?
Well, it's just important to all young people that you instill accountability. You know, they don't know, and it's not right for us to assume that they do know. And you're just trying to help them grow as young people as they get older. And I think we all know that those things are critical in being successful, is being accountable and being disciplined in what you do. And those words that you saw out there, I personally think is pretty much all you need and with a work ethic in order to be successful. You know, I think all of it is simple, but it's not easy because of all the distraction. But don't ever make any excuses for you not being successful. You know, I tell our guys that don't make excuses about anything. You have the ability, the good Lord bless you to be out here with unbelievable talent, and it's on you. Don't make excuses for anything. Don't blame the coach or anyone else. That's on you. I want our players to have that mentality, you know, and don't blame anyone else for not being the starter, you know, or for not getting the rep, or for not getting the grades that you want, you know, or for not doing what you say you were going to do when you came here, you know. So I want that to be a constant reminder for our guys. You know, it's each and every last one of them can do whatever they want to do, whatever they want to get accomplished. Again, it's which one of them is going to have the discipline and the accountability and the work ethic to get it done, you know. And we can apply all those things and structure things for them and help them, but they in return got to put forth the effort to get it done, you know. So just constant reminders. And you've got to practice, drop a ball, and, oh, coach, he threw the ball. No, look at it. Make no excuses. Touch your hand, catch the ball. It's pretty simple.
Coach, James Blackman, what have you seen from him, I guess, during the chase as far as leadership, and then what are things that you want to see from him this spring in terms of developing as a quarterback and as a player in general?
I saw he picked up about 12 pounds. You started to see a little cut. He's no longer straight. You started to see a little curve in his body now. So he's working and working in the right direction. But I think with any quarterback, leadership is always going to be first and foremost. You know, you got to be able to lead the football team. You know, and I'm not just saying that the offense. I'm saying that the football team. I think when you see great football teams or teams that win championships, it's one thing you see that the team rally behind their quarterback. You know, and I think that comes with time. I think that comes with relationship building. With him and this entire football team. So and he's been doing a good job with that, you know, but he's got to continue to get better at that and then learn the offense a scheme, because it'll be different than what he had before, and learning, and then just go out and compete your best every single day, and try to get better every single day. The kid have talent, you know, so that's not an issue. It's just now applying that talent to the work and continue to develop, you know. So want him to compete, he's competing, you know, and I'm sure Bailey's not gonna make it easy on him. You know, they all competing, and when DeAndre get back out there, he's not gonna make it easy as well. So, but we want them all to be that way, every single one of them, not just James. You know, because I think all of them can get better at those things. You know, but want to come out and compete, and have fun, and just get better.
Coach, you signed a big recruiting class, but all of them aren't really going to be here until over the summer. How do you manage kind of having that few scholarship receivers heading into spring practice?
We got some guys at tight end, you know, and I think that's the beauty of our offense. We can get in different personnel schemes and still be able to execute like we want to, you know. So I think from the tight end position and how we move guys around, it allowed us to have a little more depth there. So we'll be able to, from a personnel standpoint, mix it in so we're not just wearing out our receivers. But I think I can say from an offensive structure and the things we can do, we can finagle things to make sure that we're not wearing our receivers out. But we also, like I said, that's the beauty of our offense. We can get our tight ends reps and receiver reps. And I know if I'm those receivers, I don't care about how many guys we have here. I want to play, coach. I want to get out there and go.
Coach, I know you mentioned them briefly, but what are the expectations for Hockman, and what would you like to see from him?
Kind of like I said a minute ago, compete. You know, one thing all of our guys got to understand is that they're going to get an opportunity to compete. You know, and if you want to be the guy, then that's going to be on you to go out and make that happen. You're going to have those opportunities, then it's on you to take advantage of it. So my expectation for him to go out, same thing, learn the offense, compete, win his teammates over, and work on winning the job. You know, that's what we want them all to do, is to compete and try to be the guy. You know, and not just be on the team. So I know Hockman's had a great winter condition, and I can see it in him that he wants it too. And you say, as a coach, it's pretty cool to see it, and can't wait to go through spring, because I think we will have some good competition.
Hey, Coach.
Hey.
I noticed when the roster came out that you guys the single digits were not there for the player roster. What is the process for those guys to earn those numbers back, and when will that happen?
They got to do something to get them back. I know when I was growing up, getting a single digit, they went to the dudes. You had to be a dude in order to get a single digit. And it's kind of how we wanted again. You want a single digit, you got to be a dude. Just and everyone can't get a single digit. And being a dude is being the best football player you can be, and being the best student you can be, and having the best character you can have. You know, so those are things that we evaluate our guys on daily, and I want to make sure that guys that's in those single digit are handling business in all three areas, and they're dudes. When I say handling business, they're at the top of their game in those areas. And to me, that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be a dude out there, and that's what we want, some dudes, some war daddies.
Hey, Coach. Just the decision to open up practice this year for the fans. I mean, it hasn't been done here in a while besides, on Fan Day. Just what are you hoping for the public to come out and see from this team?
Well, I think just with the momentum that's going on, I think it's fair to our fan base and allow them to have an opportunity to see the football team. I mean, I know everyone's excited about what's going on now and want to give them an opportunity to see their guys as we go out to spring ball. And I think doing it when we're doing it is good for everyone. And then it'll allow us to have the rest of the spring to work with each other and try to get better at the football team and build our team like we want to, and and hopefully be a lot better than what they see on day 1 and day 2, and then they all can come back for the spring game and see the work that the guys have put in. You know, but it's really just, you know, I think it's fair to our fan base and everyone that's excited about the Noles and want to see the football team and what things are like. They have an opportunity to come out and see it.
Why was it important to you to reach out to the guys like Dion and obviously Charlie Ward now is an ambassador and is going to be apparently coaching your son, which is kind of cool.
Right here.
Player, yeah. But why was that important to you to kind of reach out to the Florida State legends of the past, I guess?
To me, that's Florida State. You know, growing up, that's what I remember. You know, and what I was crazy about the school about because of those guys and the passion and the love they had for the university. You know, and I want all of our players to have that same passion and love for this university. You know, but I also think we want to be the football team that I would like this football team to be. They got to understand the guys that came for them and who built this thing, and not just those guys, but there's a lot of even recent history guys that we can learn from, and I think that's so important. You know, and just talking with our guys. Our guys don't understand necessarily some of the guys that play here, or necessarily know. But when you always go back, you take it for granted of what our players know and don't know. And these guys weren't born when these guys were playing, so it's kind of hard to really think they're just going to know these guys, you know. But those guys are really important in our tradition and our history here, and what they did and what they was a part of, the teams they were a part of. And I want our guys to know about all of them. You know, I'm challenging each one of our position guys to go back and learn from the guys that play here, read up on the guys that play here at your position, you know, and you work your tail off to be one of those guys. When it's all said and done, that's the great thing of being at Florida State. You can look at every position on the field, and it's been a great one, you know, and not only just here at Florida State, but that have gone off to the NFL and was great there as well. So there's a lot of guys that play here, a lot of guys that can inspire our current guys to be even better than what they are now. And I think as more of our past guys come around and the more our current guys know about them, the more love and passion they're going to have for this university and the way they go out and play on the football field.
Willie, how's Coach Barnett been doing with his transition over the last few weeks, and what are your expectations for the defense during spring?
Coach, he's been great. He's been great in meetings. Defense staff been doing a great job working together. Seeing those communicate, watching him with our players have been fun to watch, you know. And but I've been really, again, sitting in on the defensive meetings, been impressed with how those things are going, and expectation, like I said from day one, we want to get back to Florida State defense, so being dominant, you know, and that's what we expected to do. But there's a process of getting there, and when our guys come out, and Coach always talk about being simple, but playing fast and physical and tough. We want to see those things out of our guys.
Well, with Pro Day today, I mean, the guys who are working out, you didn't coach and don't have a relationship with. Just the pro scouts and people here, are they asking you more about Flowers, Freeman, and guys that your assistants might have coached at other places as far as background?
I wouldn't say I don't have a relationship with some of these guys. I have a relationship with some of them. Some of them I recruited when I was at South Florida. So, and then, like I said, I had the luxury of being here while they were practicing for bowl game, and had time to sit down and talk and get to know those guys then, and then stay in touch with some of them. So I wouldn't say from that point not a relationship, but hadn't taught, well, the scouts that I have talked to and the coaches that I have talked to, it's been more congratulations for getting the job and how excited they are. And it's pretty cool to see Zach Crockett come up there, former Node, that's here scouting our guys, you know. But they haven't asked me anything about our current guys, you know. I'm sure they probably talked to coaches that coached them from a football standpoint, or now a couple ask you, what do you think from what you've seen, you know, but nothing necessarily just from over the years on how these kids are. You know, I think a lot of these guys, a lot of our players that's working out now, they was at the combine, and I'm sure a lot of these NFL teams have done their work by now and know what they're getting out of our players.
Have they asked you more maybe about Quentin when you coached him at USF and Freeman? And
No, they haven't. Like I said, I haven't been around a lot of them now. A couple of them that come up to my office and stop by that I've known. You know, when I'm through with this, I'm gonna go out there and maybe I'll get asked some of those questions. You know, but if they do ask me about Quentin Flowers, I tell them they better take him. He's a steal for any team out there. He's a dude.
Coach, you were asked about the wide receivers lack of depth there. Kind of the opposite. I wouldn't be a problem, but the opposite of running back, where you got Cam, Jock, I can go on and on, all the guys you got come back. How are you going to kind of juggle having that many elite running backs? And have you had a situation like this before where you've just been so stockpiled at one position?
We've had times where we have at least 3 to 4 guys that's pretty good and pretty talented, and any one of them could get the job done. That's the beauty, again, of our offense, is that we got a lot of different personnel grouping to where we can get those guys on the field and allow them to play. But I don't think you can ever have enough running backs. You know, this game is a physical ball game, and you just never know with those guys when something can happen, you know. But I will tell you this, it's like, again, Christmas. With the guys that we do have here, we're pretty deep there, and it'd be shame on us if we don't do the things we need to make sure those guys on the field are helping us.
Does Akers remind you of anybody you've coached before?
No, he's a little different. He's different. He's a sharp kid too. He's a really sharp kid, and he's all about business and getting things done, and he's a pretty good football player too. So. No, I think all of our guys have been different. Well, I've coached before. You know, I would say Toby Gerhardt and Royce Freeman are very similar in stature and running styles, and where Marlon Mack, Dearness Johnson, and Bobby Rainey, those guys were totally different. They wasn't as big as those guys. You know, so and then Cam, he's kind of like prototype. He's just how they supposed to shape, by the right height, right speed, strength, and then when you meet and talk to the kids, like, man, why can't all of them just be like this, you know? But I'm really excited to coach and watch him this spring. You know, I think it's going to be fun to watch him in this offense.
We got time for 2 more.
Coach, when did you get turned on to morning practices, and what do you like about them and what they do for your program?
I got turned on to that probably first spring at Western Kentucky. We did morning practice, and that was pretty cool. And I had never done it during the fall, and I was always worried about doing it during the fall just because I'd never done it before. It just seemed like mess up the flow. And when we got to South Florida, after the first year, I think it was, we started doing it morning practices, and it's been great for us. It's been great overall. Ever since we've been doing morning practice, academically we've been so much better for whatever reason. But I personally think that have a lot to do with it. Just the way the day is playing out for our guys, and then them getting up and having to go to practice and having the rest of the day to do the academic stuff and not have to worry about coming back and forth over here has been good. But and then living in Florida, living down in Tampa, it was the lightning capital of the world, you know. So I remember first couple of years there was time where we'll go an entire week without practicing and have to go play a game, you know, because of the weather, you know, and kind of live and learn. Okay, the weather usually come around about 2 or 3 o'clock every day, you know. So let's just turn around, let's try this morning thing out. We don't have to worry about that then. And but it's been great for us everywhere we've been since then, and can't see myself going back the other way.
All right, last one.
Hey, Coach, with the excitement of Charlie Ward coming back to the program, I think a lot of fans and people would like to know, what is exactly a brand ambassador and what does that entail?
That's a great question. I'm hearing that from everyone. You know, all I know about Charlie being back and associated with FSU is being the head basketball coach at Florida State High. You know, from that standpoint, you know, I don't think anything else that you're hearing out there is you take it for a grain of salt right now. I don't think anything else has been done. It's, like I said, I've heard that, seen that last couple of weeks, and kind of like you guys trying to figure it all out too. I called Charlie, asked Charlie, and he told me he's going to coach Little Junior, and I was like, yes. I was fired up, you know. Told Willie, you can not only learn a little basketball, but quarterback, you learn from a Heisman Trophy winner, a great guy that played a lot of years in the NBA too. I mean, you can't ask for anything better, you know. So I'm excited that my son gonna be able to be coached by Charlie. How about that? Be pretty cool. I'm a little afraid though. He might not listen to me anymore when it comes to football.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, you all have a great rest of the day. If you want to, look forward to seeing you out there tomorrow. There's some good stuff for you guys.
Bright and early.
Gotta love it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Early bird, get the first worm, baby.